Studies suggest that money is the #1 cause of conflict in relationships in America. Not cheating, not communication, not differences in values. Money. And the most devastating part is that most couples are not fighting about money itself. They are fighting about something much deeper, something they never once sat down and talked about, something that was silently destroying their relationship long before the first argument ever started. Think about the last time you and your partner argued about money. Maybe it was about a purchase one of you made without telling the other. Maybe it was about how much was being saved. Maybe it was about debt that suddenly came to light. Maybe it was about one person feeling controlled and the other feeling irresponsible. On the surface, it looked like an argument about money. But underneath it, it was an argument about two completely different money stories colliding with each other. Two different childhoods. Two different sets of beliefs about what money means. Two different emotional relationships with spending, saving, and security. Living together. Sharing finances. And never once having the conversation that would have made all the difference. Financial therapists. Yes, that is a real profession. Consistently find that the couples who fight about money the most are not the ones with the least money. They are the ones with the most unexamined money beliefs. The ones who merged their lives without ever merging their financial worldviews. And the damage is real. Studies suggest that financial disagreements are one of the strongest predictors of divorce. Not just because of the stress, but because money touches everything. Security, trust, power, freedom, love. When two people cannot align on money, they cannot fully align on life. The conversation couples never have is about their money story, not their money. Most couples talk about money constantly. How much is coming in? How much is going out? Who spent what? Who saves more? Who is being responsible and who is not? But almost no couples ever sit down and ask each other the deeper questions. What did money mean in your house growing up? Did your family have enough? Was money talked about openly or was it a source of shame and secrecy? Did you ever feel financially unsafe as a child? What does financial security mean to you emotionally, not logically? These questions feel uncomfortable. They feel vulnerable. They feel like therapy, not finance. But they are the foundation of every financially healthy relationship. Because when you understand your partner's money story, their behavior stops being irrational and starts making complete sense. The partner who spends impulsively is not being irresponsible. They grew up with nothing and their brain is still grabbing joy before it disappears. The partner who hoards money and refuses to enjoy it is not being controlling. They grew up in financial chaos and money in the bank is the only thing that makes them feel safe. Neither of them is wrong. They are just running different programs. And without the conversation, those programs will keep crashing into each other forever. Now here is the part that makes this even more complicated. Money in relationships is never just about money. It is about power. Who earns more? Who makes the financial decisions? Who has to ask permission to spend? Who feels dependent and who feels in control? These dynamics play out in almost every relationship. And when they are never openly addressed, they quietly poison everything. The partner who earns more can unconsciously start to feel entitled to make unilateral decisions. The partner who earns less can start to feel infantilized, ashamed, like they have no real voice in their own financial life. And neither person ever says any of this out loud, because talking about money and power in a relationship feels dangerous. Feels like an accusation. It feels like it will start the very fight they are trying to avoid. So instead they stay silent. And the resentment builds, quietly, for years, until one day it explodes over something that, on the surface, looks completely trivial. The conversation about money and power is not easy, but it is infinitely easier than the alternative. And the third thing couples never talk about is the one that takes everyone by surprise. They never talk about their financial dreams individually, only jointly. Most couples talk about shared financial goals. Buy a house, pay off debt, save for retirement, take a vacation. But almost nobody asks, what do you want financially that has nothing to do with us? What is the personal financial dream you have quietly given up because it did not fit into our shared plan? This matters enormously, because when one person in a relationship feels like their individual financial dreams have been completely swallowed by the relationship, resentment follows. Not immediately, but slowly, consistently, until it becomes a wall between two people who used to feel completely connected. Healthy financial relationships make room for both. The shared goals that build a life together, and the individual goals that remind each person they are still a whole person outside of the relationship. That balance is not selfish. It is what keeps relationships financially and emotionally sustainable for the long term. Here is what I want you to take from this video. The money conversation that saves relationships is not about budgets or spreadsheets or who spent what. It is about sitting down with the person you love and saying, "Tell me what money meant in your house growing up. Tell me what financial security feels like to you. Tell me what you are afraid of financially that you have never told me." That conversation is uncomfortable. It is vulnerable. It requires courage. But it is the conversation that changes everything. Because when two people truly understand each other's money story, they stop being opponents in a financial argument. And they start being partners in a financial life. And that partnership is worth more than any budget ever written. I want you to do one thing after this video. Ask your partner or someone close to you one of the questions from this video. Just one. What did money mean in your house growing up? And then actually listen to the answer. Drop in the comments, has money ever caused real tension in a relationship you have been in? You do not have to share details. Just a yes or no. Because I want you to know you are not alone. Hit subscribe because next week we are talking about why being too nice with money is quietly destroying your wealth. That one is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable in the best possible way. I will see you there.